Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 6 of the Local to Global series here with Rocky Mountain Wrestling. So, today's episode, we are going to just kick off by advancing. We're going to talk about a few things. Obviously, I did a live stream about, I think it started about 12 hours ago with TCW. So, if you want to go check that out, make sure you do. It was about just over 2 hours long, and we got through the Go Home show, the water settled the score of the pay-per-view, and then week 1 as well of TV for TCW. So check that out. I think we had up about 18 viewers, which it peaked at, which was pretty nice because it's probably not the best time for you guys to be watching live streams. I know you'd probably want them to be, I guess. Actually, I don't know. Would it be a good time if it's like 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. on a of a morning for US viewers, then I feel like a live stream starting at 1 p.m. my time would probably be the evening for a lot of the US viewers. So maybe that's why a lot of you guys were there today. I have no idea. I know it's a terrible time for the UK and for most of Europe. So there we go. Also, Al Coleman being shown on the processing screen here with our Rocky Mountain Wrestling background. You love to see it. Anyway, I've sort of come to the conclusion with skipping forward for processing times. I think we're going to leave it for now. And then I think as I slightly slide myself over here, I think we're going to leave it for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you guys as we're doing here at the start of the show. But essentially, once I've got nothing left to say, I'm going to essentially just pause the recording, jump ourselves forward to where we need to be, and then we'll carry on from there. So I think that's like a happy medium for you guys. Obviously, it allows me to get my point across to you guys, which is obviously important. Allows me to ramble a little bit, which obviously you guys that have been watching me for a while now, you know I like to ramble about a lot of different stuff, primarily about the series, but sometimes about other things. And yeah, finally, you get that other side of it. You get the advancement where we're not just sitting here staring at all these different workers that pop up while we wait for a whole month to process until the next event. So I think that's a happy little medium. Other thing I want to say is if you are yet to purchase TW9 and you would like to do so, you've still got that link down in the description down below, which does help the channel out. And it shows the channel that you're a viewer of Auspicious Aussie and you support the channel. And it shows them that, I've got a decent fan base that is loyal enough to go through me, or I guess, support the channel by using my affiliate link and going through that way. And yeah, apart from that, guys, just want to say thank you for all the recent support. I well and truly think that this series will be my biggest series potentially I've ever done on any game. A lot of my early Football Manager content, I think my most watched video is an Everton series I did back in like 2015 or 2016. Had like 20,000 views on the first episode, and the whole series was very well received. I'm thinking that this one could potentially do that. Obviously, it's still very early days. We're what, like a week in to release, full release. So yeah, and it's already at 2K. So we've hit 2,000 views pretty much on episode 1 of the Local to Global already, which is insane to me. Obviously, the views do drop off, and a lot of you guys will be the more consistent viewers that are watching episode 6 till episode 60 essentially. So yeah, the views will they'll get more consistent, and they'll be a relatively large number because overnight in the last what are we at, 14 hours, 15 hours, the last 15 hours from when I'm recording, which was after episode 5 was released, it has over 300 views in 15 hours, which is just incredible for a TEW series. There are a lot of sort of experiments and stuff that people put out, different content creators that essentially pull, you know, a good amount of views because obviously you guys are interested, you want to see different things, and some of those experiments are very interesting. Something I've thought about doing myself, but I personally just like playing the game. I really enjoy advancing and creating companies like we're doing now and taking them to certain places and improving workers and doing all that type of stuff as opposed to a one-off type of experiment type deal. I don't know. That's just me. But they can get good views. And I think at the moment, my views are, for this series anyway, are competing with that type of, you know, content, which is incredible. I honestly can't believe all the support, and I'm very, very grateful for you guys. I've sort of found myself at the moment having to sit down for like a solid 45 minutes, and I'm responding to just every comment. Something that took about 5 to 10 minutes is now 45 minutes because there are so many of you, and I really do appreciate the comments, guys, as well. Having that sort of interaction with a fan base and a community that I think we've solidly built here over the last few years as well. It means a lot. It really does, and it pumps me up. It makes me want to play. Like at the moment, I'm like I've said a few times, I'm off work, annual leave. You know, my vacation days essentially. I hadn't had anything planned. I planned to play video games. That was what I planned to do. Just relax and enjoy myself. Obviously, found out that the release of TEW9 was coming out, and it was coming out during my leave time, so that was perfect. And what else? And yeah, a few other games I've been playing have sort of had the same thing as well. So it's been really good. Anyway, where are we at? So we're up to the 21st. We're pretty much there. I've pretty much rambled my entire way through till our next show. Actually, we're at Monday, so we've still got a few more days left because we've got to get to the Sunday. Now I forgot what I was saying. Who's this guy? Richard Petty. He's come through the Supreme Wrestling University. He looks really good. 71 basics, 83 brawling, and 70 psychology, along with decent entertainment skills and 60 star quality in there as well. That dude looks incredible. That RIPW, which is SWF's developmental territory. He looked real good. Wow. So yeah. I was obviously talking about my leave. I've sort of lost track of where I was. Yeah, there's going to be some varying content coming out on the channel as well. So I know you guys are here for primarily TEW, but it looks like Escape from Tarkov, another game I'm very, very fond of. It's more of like a first-person shooter extractor type game. It looks like Tarkov is about to wipe in the next coming weeks. And it's a game I always play at the start of the wipe. I think most people do. If you've ever played Escape from Tarkov, you probably play for about a month at the start of a wipe, which I think is what most people do. And then obviously you sort of start to fall off, and that's exactly what happens to me. I'd have live streamed it in the past, probably about a year ago, I think it was. So I'm tempted to do a few more live streams, or maybe even just a series of me playing. Maybe even showing some of you guys if you pick the game up yourself, or if you've even got the game. It can be a very hard and punishing game, but it's very addictive. The upside to playing that game is incredible. Anyway, we are here. We are ready. One more round is here tonight. Let's get into it. Of course, we did find ourselves at 5 popularity, so I'm hoping we get the increase from this first show up to 6 popularity. That'd be very, very important, as you can see there. We're still average, still rising, and we're still very weak economy and falling. So not great at all. We'll use, how much have we got? We've only got 85, so We'll grab a finish. It is likely to succeed, so we'll chuck that in there. Likely. And I don't actually know, how many have we got? What do we got here? So finish, bit of a gamble, finish likely, and then finish likely. When does that one expire? March of 23, and then September. So we sort of need to use this one relatively soon, because that's next month, and we might have to use it tonight. Okay, so we'll have to use that one tonight. That's all right, we can use it for our main event. Locker room incidents, what do we got? Nothing. No locker room incidents. Al Coleman has sorted himself out. That's a miracle. All right, we'll pull a rib on someone, I think. Let's pull a rib on Remy, and he sees the funny side. Lovely. All right, does that? What's our backstage looking like? It is still poor. Okay. I might have to look to bring in some positive influences. I'm hoping that if we can get rid of these morale issues for Hangman, he potentially might become a neutral influence on the backstage. I don't know yet. Sometimes when they're unhappy, they can be a mildly negative influence, and that can disappear once we, sort out morale issues. So let's just jump into that. Let's start booking. Main event for tonight's show is going to be Hangman taking on Blue Dragon. I've decided. Blue Dragon, he hasn't been here for too long, but he was very impressive. He was our first green rated match as well, so I want to give him a good match. We'll give a clean win there to Hangman. It is face versus face, but I think that's pretty deserved for Blue Dragon. Gives Hangman another win. Should hopefully be a 40 rated match, if not very close. And then finally, it allows us to praise Hangman for a win anyway. So that's my thought process behind it anyway, and we'll just have to wait and see how it does. Another thing I wanted to check out was, let's have Al Coleman taking on Addison. I think we did this match already, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we did it. I think it was the first round of the tournament. So we'll give him 12 minutes there. Coleman's very good, so we'll give him the win. Be script and decisive now. I think it was a tainted win, so I think a rematch does kind of make sense. Just gives Coleman a victory after his loss on the last show. We'll go a tag team match. I did have a suggestion for Jerry Pepper and Phil Anders to be a tag team, which I do like the look of. So I think once we progress and get the bigger roster, tag team division or tag team title will come into play, and we'll have a tag team with Pepper and Anders. So I think they can actually verse Remy and Montero in this match. We'll give that 12 minutes as well. And then I think we'll give the win to Remy. We'll keep his momentum going, because he might be the next competitor for Texas Hangman, I think. I probably want the loser to be Anders, I think. So we'll do that. And then we need to change Montero to Al. Coleman a road agent, that one. Very good. I might chuck that in there. I mean, essentially, we can probably run with that, to be honest. Obviously, we haven't used Jules Knight or Jack Pride. They're both heels. They've both got cool momentum. So what I might do is I might go local. Go Patriot. We'll bring Patriot back in for one night with a local contract worker or hired worker. And then I think I'll put them in a match together. So Jules taking on Patriot. Give it 10 minutes for that one. And then I want Jules Knight getting the win. We don't have to even make it open, to be honest. Have Jules. We don't have to have him dominate or anything like that. But just having him get a win little bit of momentum for himself. We'll work the crowd as well with that one. And then we'll chuck in 2 angles. So let's go a brawl. Let's go a 4-minute brawl pre-match with Texas Hangman and Blue Dragon. So Hangman. It's a very loud car going past. Hangman and Dragon have a pre-match brawl. They finally get separated, and the match begins. Cool. So we'll chuck that for 4 minutes. They might not be good enough for 4 minutes, but we'll have to wait and see. Copy and paste that one. We'll go like that. I think we did have a... I guess we don't have one anymore. It might have expired. But we'll go like that, purely for the fact that Dragon doesn't really have any... He doesn't have the capability to cut an angle or a promo by himself. He doesn't have the entertainment skills to be able to pull that off. So we'll do that, and then I want to just have a regular promo for Al Coleman. Al can cut a promo onto... Who's his next opponent going to be? I might put him up against... I was going to say Blue Dragon. We might just have him by himself, actually. Let's run that. We'll script him. Coleman is furious that he didn't get the win last show. States he wants to take it out on Patterson tonight. That makes sense, and then I might actually chuck Patterson in there because he does refer to him. So cool. We'll get that booked as well. It's gonna be an angle. Save that, and then I can just chuck in Jason Patterson. Screen add. That's pretty much how you do it. If you want to add people in on this screen, you can do it like that, or you can add them initially in the quick angle button. But yeah, either works. It's very simple to do either. Slightly easier to do it in the quick screen, but doesn't really matter too much. And there we are. That is the first show of the episode. Let us run one more round. Alrighty, so we start off with a 32 rated match here. We've got Jules Knight defeating Flying Patriot in 9:53 by pinfall with a time for bed. And of course, this one works the crowd. Initial rating very good for Patriot's fourth debut, technically. 4th time of debuting. I don't know. I think he's up to 3 or 4. But yeah, 32 is pretty good. A little bit of momentum there for Jules Knight. He's quite a good in-ring worker, is Jules Knight. I'm definitely a fan of his. So I want to push him a little bit. In the future, we can't really push anyone except for maybe sort of one person at a time at the moment. And obviously that is Texas Hangman. So yeah, good stuff. We then go into a 38 rated angle where we have Coleman, and he is furious that he didn't get the win for the heavyweight title in the last show, and basically states that he wants to take out Jason Patterson tonight to get a little bit of revenge back and take out a little bit of his frustrations. A really good angle. Al Coleman. A lot of people, well, there was a comment that was saying that he is the early GOAT of the series so far for Local to Global. Don't know if I agree with that yet, but he's definitely doing a lot of good things for us. Maybe he is. We get a 46 rated match here. Al Coleman defeating Jason Patterson in 12:09 by submission with an ankle brace. Good match. Very good match. That's a main event rating. I think that's probably one of the best ratings we've ever had, actually. And it was just a random sort of match that I put Al Coleman in against a lowly Jason Patterson. So impressive. Very impressive. And we move on to our tag team match, which gets us a 41, where we have Remy Sky and Roger Montero. Of course, they're got excellent chemistry together somehow. And they defeat Jerry Pepper and Phil Anders in 12:03 when Remy Sky pinned Phil Anders with a skydiver. But yeah, good stuff. Excellent chemistry. 41 rated. Happy with that. Very happy. We then move into a 26 rated pre-match brawl between Texas Hangman and Blue Dragon. They finally get separated and the bell rings with the heavyweight title being held up by the referee. And it is on. The main event for one more round. Blue Dragon's first opportunity at the heavyweight title. Slightly below what I wanted it to be. Slightly. We get a 39 rated main event here. A little bit on the low side, considering those other matches. And we have Texas Hangman defeating Blue Dragon in 1944 by pinfall with a chokeslam. And Texas Hangman making defense number 2 of the Rocky Mountain Wrestling heavyweight title. Maybe, unfortunately, as I said I wanted a 40, Hangman was off his game. So had he been on his game, we might have actually hit that 40. A little bit frustrating. We'll take a quick look at the face-heel divide as well. And of course, the low morale and low locker room morale for both workers. But yeah, 39, it's not terrible. If you think about it, these two are part of our original roster. So a 39 is actually pretty good for both of them. Alrighty, we get a 40 overall show rating. So I'm pleased with that. That's, more good progress, increasing our popularity in the Northwest region in Wyoming. And let's single out. We have to single out Texas Hangman. And I think I'll go Remy Sky as well. So yeah, Hangman, very happy. We lose $751 there. All right, let's check the popularity. So we are up to 6. There we go. We go from 5 to 6 as a result of that show. Perfect. Exactly what we wanted. Progress. That's all we want. Progress, progress, progress. All right, hopefully we can get 7 with the next show. That would be ideal. That would be perfect. Literal perfection. And I want to get it. Alrighty. BCG, another touring contract for Jason Patterson, which is good. Hopefully he'll improve a little bit more. That'd be, ideal. Get his psychology up. Has his psychology actually gone up? He has gone up 2 points in psychology. He's also gone up a little bit in respect, and his reputation's gone up as well. Primary skills, a little bit of flashiness, a little bit of aerial, a little bit of everything, and then 1 point in his brawling. Nothing there in his performance skills, entertainment, stuff like that. Although his basics have gone up. He's gone up to 70 from 66, which I'm happy with. 2 points in selling as well. Safety's gone up to 61, which is very important. Very important. Even consistency's up a couple of points. He's up from 43 to 47. Physical, doesn't look like any changes there. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, Patterson's looking good. So another BCG tour. Hopefully he doesn't gain too much popularity in Japan. That could be bad for us because he might essentially get signed to one of those Japanese companies. Sino, not on our roster, but Roger Montero joining EX 2010 as well. So he's gone on a touring contract as well, Roger Montero. Good for him. Kind of fits their style pretty well, now that I think about it. Anyway, let's do some more advancing. We've got Changing History up next for the month of September. But there we go. 6 popularity in the Northwest. We are 11 points away from going up to tiny size. So we're pretty much a third of the way. A third of the way there. I'm just going to start advancing. And yeah, a third of the way to tiny already. And we're keeping pace. So If we can get up to 7 popularity, that'd put us ahead of episodes to popularity, which we are, at the moment, episode 6 popularity. It's sort of following us, but I would like to be advancing a little bit more with our popularity over episodes, if that makes sense. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is advance forward. I'll pause the recording here and join you guys back once the processing is finished. All right, we are back. Finished processing. Love it. All right, let's get into it. Looking at last month, we actually only lost 547, so that's literally getting better. That's a massive jump, actually. That's over $64. And as you can see, we're actually in profit without a show run. So we're 312 in profit at the moment. And that'll go up even further with the rest of that sponsorship money coming in. So that goes to show how much money we could bring in without shows run. Obviously, we'd need a hell of a lot of shows to try and claw back that 13,000 that we're in debt at the moment. But I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. So let's advance. We'll get into this second show here for the episode. I'm not going to give anyone the night off. And once again, we are going... Oh, we're above average wrestling industry now, which is good. We'll go to Wyoming. So book that in. Booking team, man, we've got 93 stored. So let's go for an angle. We've got a surefire hit there as well, which is actually really good. Surefire. And now we have an angle. So we've also got the angle, and we've also, I think, got another... Oh, I didn't use that creative finish, but we can still use it this episode. Got to remember to use it. All right, perfect. That's very lucky. I should have used that last episode. I completely forgot. You guys were probably screaming at me. Yeah, I've got to use it. All right, remember. I'm going to book the main event first here anyway, so I should remember. I should be fresh on my mind. I am going to inspire everybody as well for this show. Yep, there we go. Locker room is fired up and buzzing. Before we do that, did we get rid of... We did indeed get rid of the morale issues there for Texas Hangman. So we're pretty much... Are we back to... No, we're still poor. But he is gone now. He's gone out of that list. That's what I mentioned. Last episode. Not last episode, before the last show. So it's still poor. So that's really frustrating. And we can't really pay for any of these things because it's just not financially viable for us to do that. We need to, I guess, strengthen some of these influences that these people have with each other. That's probably a good way of doing it. But then I guess just running good shows is probably gonna help us out. I think a lot of their issues come from our poor finances for the company, the $13,000 in debt that we have at the moment. Anyway, let's book the show. So main event, once again, going to be a heavyweight title match. This one, I think we go with a heel. And I think Jules Knight might be the option. He's got 13 popularity here in the Northwest. I don't think anyone else has that much. Yeah, Pepper's 9. Anders is 7. Pride's 11, actually. But I don't really want to have Pride in the main event. We didn't even use him on the last show. So I think Jules Knight versus Texas Hangman. Another nice title defense there for Hangman. We'll give this one 16 minutes. We won't go a full 20 because they're both pretty average in the ring. I think Blue Dragon with the 20 minutes for the last match was okay. We'll keep it a slow build. Again, they don't really have the psychology for it, but we'll just see how it goes. I know you guys probably don't want me to do a slow build on it, but it does get a bonus if it's good enough for them to do. So we'll do that. We'll chuck in the creative finish as well. We need the September one. That's the September one there. Perfect. Add that. Book match. Heavyweight title on the line. And there is our main event. I don't think Jules can speak at all, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So there's nothing there. So what we'll do is I'm just going to go an easy angle, 4-minute promo. Texas Hangman cutting a. Do we even need to do Hangman? We might do someone else this episode. So let's not do that. Let's book some other matches. Let's have a singles match with. We can exclude already booked there. We might go with Remy and Jack Pride. We'll go 10 minutes on that one as well. Give Remy the win. We'll keep it open. We'll script it. It'll be clean. And then I want to keep Jack simple. Simple Jack. We might give Remy Sky the angle, I think. He's got really good entertainment. Oh, his acting's quite bad, but everything else is quite good. So we'll let's go with a we'll go with a promo. We'll go with like a double promo. So Remy and Primetime Jack Pride. They can have a war of words. War of words. Rematch between Sky and Pride. Rid of the capital R there. Looks a little bit silly, so we'll go 4 minutes for that one. Fill it in. Copy paste. We'll script that as well. It'll be an angle. Save that. Book that segment. Then we're going to go a tag team match. And I want to have Coleman teaming up with Jerry Pepper to take on Patterson and Montero. Oh, they have bad chemistry with each other. I guess we'll go Anders and Montero. Sure, why not? Give Jerry Pepper the win. Once again, the loser can be Anders. And then I'll keep it open, script. We'll go Tainted. So Pepper, maybe he's learning the ways of Al Coleman. Cheating to win. So we'll book that. And we'll need to have Remy Sky be our road agent for this one. That's perfectly fine. We'll go another angle there for Pepper. So let's go Al Coleman, Jerry Pepper, make it a promo. And then we want to have Anders and Roger. Al Coleman takes Pepper under his wing tonight and gives him advice on how to get an easy win. Lovely. I think that actually works out pretty well. So it'll be an angle in the ring. We will script it, save that. Copy and paste that over, and then once again, we are good to go with that one. We do still have Patterson. So I guess Blue Star must have picked up a... Yeah. Sorry, Blue Dragon picked up a touring contract with WLW again. Sandman Winks is leaving. Interesting. Sandman Winks is leaving Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. I think we might sign him. I think he'll come in as a heel. What's his popularity? I mean, he's got 22 in the Mid-Atlantic, but he's only got one in the Northwest, so it might be hard to build him up, but he is very much an old school style wrestler, so he looks like an absolute badass for a 23-year-old. Just saying. And yeah, I think we bring him in. He's 6'4" as well, so he could be a really good opponent there for Texas Hangman. Anyway, no Blue Dragon tonight. Frustrating. Anyway, I think as a result of that, we might just run with what we've got. It's only a small show, but Yeah, I mean, we're in time, so I think we just go with that. Might even be able to give this an extra 2 minutes, perhaps. I might make it the steal the show match. Let's run it. I like that. I like that. I think Coleman, any match Coleman is in, could essentially be a steal the show match. So let's run the show. We start off with a 36 rated angle. So we have Al Coleman, and he takes Jerry Pepper under his wing tonight and gives him some advice on how to get an easy win. Of course, they will be taking on Anders and Montero up next. 36 is pretty good for Jerry Pepper. He was involved with his entertainment skills in this angle. So, fair play. Their match actually doesn't do too well. It might be because I did steal the show, potentially. Because if you do a steal the show match, it actually puts extra pressure on your workers, which can lead to these types of things happening. But we get a 39 rated tag team match. We have Al Coleman and Jerry Pepper defeating Phil Anders and Roger Montero in 14:27. When Jerry Pepper pinned potential tag team partner Phil Anders by using underhanded tactics. And the match was designed so that so steal the show, probably not going to be a very good thing for Phil Anders to be involved in with his 17 in ring. But both Al Coleman and Jerry Pepper were really off their games in this match as well. So, yeah. And then also we had the face heel combination for Anders and Montero. Yeah, it is what it is. 39. It's not terrible. It's the same rating we got for our main event on the last month's show. So we move on. We go into a 34 rated angle. We have a War of Words pre-match between Remy Sky and Primetime Jack Pride going into their singles match together. Like I said, Remy's not the greatest in the world with his promos. So, yeah, 34 is pretty good. Good for Jack Pride anyway. Hopefully gain a point of popularity. Go into their match together, gets a 40 rating. We have Remy Sky defeating Primetime Jack Pride in 9:48 by pinfall with a skydiver. Good match. Essentially, we'll call this the number one contenders match for the heavyweight title. And of course, Remy Sky goes over. Makes himself the new number one contenders, and he'll face the winner of the heavyweight title match tonight, which is up next, actually. So here we go, the main event for Changing History 1. Actually the best match on the card. That is surprising. A 44 rated main event. We have Texas Hangman defeating Jules Knight in 15:45 by pinfall with a chokeslam. So a shorter match is actually done pretty well. 16-minute match with a slow build, scripted, gets us a 44. We do have the creative finish, that's a success. But yeah, Texas Hangman making defense number 3 of the Rocky Mountain Wrestling heavyweight title. That's a good result. Very good result. We'll check the dirt sheet here. Jules for his awful gimmick. I've got to tweak that. Remember, I've got to tweak it. Creative finish bonus. Again, we get the penalties, but we have no more morale issues for Hangman as well. So he's just going out there and putting on, I guess, a performance with one less penalty. So it's done pretty well. 42 in-ring for Texas Hangman. So happy with that. Let's finish the show. What do we get? We get a 41. Better than last show. That's really good. I'm very happy with that. I thought with that Al Coleman match being under a 40, I was a little bit worried. That's done really well. That main event's saved it. Massively saved it. Increase our popularity in the Northwest region. And let's finish the show. I'm going to praise, I think for this one, I'm going to praise Remy and we'll go Al Coleman again and we'll give him some encouragement. We won't praise him, we'll give him some encouragement. So there we go. Financial report, 679 loss from that show. Okay, it's not terrible. terrible. Popularity, please. Fingers crossed. 7 pop. Come on. We can do it. Yes, get in there. 6 to 7 popularity there in the Northwest as a result of that show. Very good stuff. That's a perfect way to finish the episode as well. Perfect way. We're up to 7 popularity now. So we're essentially going into episode 7, already on 7 pop. That's a good start. A good start to next episode, and we're not even at next episode yet. Let me take a look here. What's our TV rating? We don't have a TV rating. I thought I was TCW for a second then. But let's advance to the end of the month. So we'll advance 5 days. That was such a good show. Got Dreadnought there. He looks badass. I hadn't actually looked at Dreadnought. He looks very good. He was one that I'm pretty sure I did sign him on the local to global with the CWC, the previous local to global series. He's signed with CWA now, so it's a pretty good move for him. He's the son of Dread. But he was a free agent. He was only 18, I think. So he's probably only 20 years old now. That Slayer, haven't actually looked at Slayer either. Is with CILL. Interesting. The closure of Oli. Interestingly enough, I've never ever, I don't even think I've even started a save in Europe before. Yeah, I don't think I ever have. I'm trying to think, but nothing comes to mind. They're actually a relatively good region to play as. All right, so here we are. We're at the end of the month. What have we got? Wild Red Stallion, he's on my short list. He'll probably come in with the next round of signings because he's actually quite good. He's only got 42 psychology, but everything else is really good. And he was another one I signed, I think, early on with the local to global. He might have even left the company, potentially. Ooh, looks like TCW, have they dropped? They, I guess, went up to big and then dropped down to medium in this world. So there we go. 375 we lost last month. So we're pretty much turning a profit, I think, if we run a normal ticketed show. It might be worth potential. I mean, I want to get to like 10 popularity before we change. We're only 3 points away. Interesting. I don't know. It's very, very close. Very close. But our debt just keeps rising, though. That's the tricky part. Hasn't risen too much this episode. How much is that? That's under 1,000. That's not too bad. We've lost under 1,000 so far in this episode, which is good over 2 months. Let's check some popularity. So 30 pop there for Coleman, 10 there for Blue Dragon. We've got 9 there for Patterson, 10 for Jerry Pepper, 14 there for Jules Knight. I think he gained a point of popularity, did he? He did indeed, up to 14, losing that title match. Anders is at 8. We've got 11 there for Primetime Jack Pride, which is still the same. It's been the same for a couple of months. Remy Sky is at 24, which I think is the same. Yep. And he's now the new number 1 contender. We've got 16 there for Montero, which is about the same. And then 16 there as well for Texas Hangman, which is exactly the same. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Anyway. I think Hangman will have a good opportunity at gaining some popularity with a win over Remy Sky. The prestige for the title has actually gone up 2 points as well. So that's gone up from 29 when Hangman won the title belt up to 31. So some decent improvements as well. And he's got 3 successful defenses so far. So we're trying to build up that prestige and get it into a good position. Anyways, that is going to be the end of the episode, guys. If you can drop a like, we've actually got our big sort of end of season finale. What I will do here is actually change that. Hitting the peak is going to be our end of season finale. If I can change it here. Yes, so there we go. Season finale, yes. And we're going to save. Perfect. So that's going to be our big event. Hitting the peak number 1, 22 days away. Next episode. And that's a pretty big main event, actually. Texas Hangman versus Remy Sky for the heavyweight title. I do like that it's worked out like that. But yeah, like I said before, just drop a like on the video if you haven't yet. Subscribe to the channel as well. There's a lot of new viewers watching. So if you sub to the channel, hit the notification bell. You'll be notified when these episodes come out every day. I'm going to keep them daily for the foreseeable future. Obviously, when I go back to work, things may change and they may go to every other day, like the WCW series. But either way, long may the daily episodes continue. And apart from that, as always, guys, take it easy and goodbye.